show them Easterners what it's really like to live in the West. And we'd be honored if you would join us. Well, I guess they were trying to give me a leg up of sorts and needing to work, and I figured maybe being with some of my friends might help a little bit. I signed up, and we went back east and we started doing those shows. The truth is, I didn't much care for that. Now, some people are showmen, and Buffalo Bill Cody, heck yeah, now there's a showman for you. Me, not so much. Well, I start drinking a little bit, and then what does Buffalo Bill do? He takes my liquor away. Ha, I'm here to tell you, that made me pretty ornery. Yep, well, I shot the lights out of Madison Square Garden one night. And one time I shot a couple of blanks at a couple of extras and caught their pants on fire because I thought it was funny. Yeah, they didn't. So I saved my friend Buffalo Bill the problem of fire me, and I quit. Oh, the West was calling me anyway. So I headed back out west and ended up making it to a town called Cheyenne, Wyoming Territory. Found me a good card game because that's just what I do. I was sitting there playing one afternoon when in walks a lady friend, Agnes Lake Thatcher. Now, Agnes and I, we go way back. And I guess I can tell you folks, I was rather fond of Agnes. And after sitting down and catching up with her, I found out she was still sweet on me. So, I wasn't going to let her get away again, and I asked her to marry me. You know what she said?
Yeah.
No! Who said no? Would I be telling the story if she said no? Of course she said yes. We had a little ceremony right there in Cheyenne, and I whisked her away on a honeymoon to Cincinnati. Now, Agnes owned a circus by that time, and she actually worked in that circus as an equestrian rider. And so she had to get back on the road, and I figured I'd work on a fortune for my new bride, and I knew right where to go. Cheyenne had been pretty good to me, so I headed back there to work on a fortune. Found me a card game. After a couple of days, I was building a nice little nest egg for Agnes and myself. But then I found out that Lady Luck is not always sitting with you at the table. And I found that out the hard way. Not only did I lose all of my winnings, I lost everything that I had brought with me. I was penniless. And you know what happened? The sheriff arrested me, said he was going to put me in jail, called me a vagrant. Unless I agreed to leave town immediately, I was going to spend the night in a Cheyenne jail. Well, not wanting to spend any time in a Cheyenne jail, I opted to leave town immediately. And on the outskirts of town, what should I run into but the biggest wagon train I had ever seen in my life? And who do you think was running that thing at the front of that whole expedition? None other than my best friend, Colorado Charlie Utter. Now, how many of you have heard Colorado Charlie Utter? 1, 2, well, all right, 3. Well, the rest of you pick up a book now and then. Half the building's named for Colorado Charlie Utter. Well, Charlie saw me walking out there, and he got this big smile on his face. He goes, Bill, haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? So I told him how I'd married Agnes in March, and how I had come out working on a fortune for us, and how I was leaving town penniless. He said, Bill, jump on board with this wagon train. There was a huge gold strike up in the Dakotas, right here in this town in Deadwood. He was bringing that whole wagon train with supplies for this town right here. He told me, he says, I've got a gold claim. If you'll come and work that gold claim while I'm doing freighting back and forth, we'll split the proceeds 50-50. How's that sound? Well, that sounded like a fair deal to me, so up on board I jumped. Well, about another 5 days on the prairie, we pull into Fort Laramie, and the colonel comes out. Got a little worried look on his face. He says, Gentlemen, am I glad to see you?